ठीक है।
Okay, today we actually discuss how SAP architecture is laid out. And what we have here is three layers. The user level is called the presentation layer, where the user interacts with the screens, okay, passes on instructions or does permutation or gives command for a report or processing or whatever. And the user directly is interacting with the screens with the GUI. But the GUI is not directly in communication with the database, but in the middle, there is a middleware or an application server where all the work processes or work requests are being handled and distributed and executed before the results are produced before the user. And there can be numerous, infinite number of work processes at the same time. And this is basically covered and supervised by ABAP. The work process that we have, the requests that ABAP or the middleware gets are numerous, like dialogue, logical log, spool request, funnel messages, integration request with other softwares, okay, update requests in database, background jobs. There can be many. In dialogue, of course, in dialogue, you need to produce a report. In background jobs, you run reports that are monthly transactions that happen, like calculation of depreciation or reconciliation of purchase orders with GRIR. These are background jobs. Okay. These require system resources, but not human attention because it is done automatically. So these are the types of processes. Now, if you go a little bit more into detail, the middleware is basically a ABAP dispatcher, which has these types of work process and requests going on. But it also has protocols like messaging server, okay, which actually interacts with various portals through the server. Then there is a gateway for interacting with other software. And then we have the web communicate, okay. And ABAP dispatcher basically is built intelligent enough to handle these protocols. Now, the messaging server handles communication between distributed dispatchers, allows scalability of application servers. The gateway, it enables communication between SAP and external servers. There is one per dispatcher, so there is only one gateway that will be available to ABAP dispatcher. Okay. The internet communication, it enables communication over HTTP. User context. Now, user context basically is this place where all user information, default parameters, and values are shared. So memory allocated contain features of user logged on to R3. Now, features can be numbering system, date format, that are the features of a user. Holds information like current settings, authorizations, okay, and the name of the program user is currently executing. So if we talk about the role over here, AMAP dispatcher creates work processes, and within work process, we have complex processes happening, which is layered with an internal memory, plus there is an interpreter that executes the request, the logic, and of course there is a database interface to interact with the database. Okay. And the task handler, of course, is what balances the request and the resources for the request at hand. So that's how database is handled and communicated. communicated with the middleware. Database layer is a central database, okay, where all the data set is stored, okay. The application data, the configuration data, everything is in this level. The application data, but also the administration data, customizing, configuration, everything is stored over here. And the dispatcher has quite a lot of load balancing to do. And it also updates the database at the same time at the real time. But in S4HANA, of course, it is all done at this level. The database is basically freed from the pressure of the memory load. Now everything is stored at the middle where the database is now less to be dependent on. So buffer helps to speed up processing. That data that is often read but seldom changed is kept in the buffer. And if we talk about the architecture, of course, the interpreter has the syntax of native SQL, okay, and it has its own syntax to directly communicate with the database. Or it can actually involve the interface to communicate with the database, but in some cases it will directly update and communicate with the database. So the ABAP programs are built to process data, and it actually receives the inputs and works on that before it actually updates the database layer and updates the presentation layer. Okay. Now, presentation layer, of course, as I've told you, sits upon the application layer where all the configuration is being loaded and executed. And then we have the database layer. I hope this was clear. Okay. Now, let me write a program. Oh, sorry. ET77 data structure. Where?
था मतलब किस तरह कर रहे थे?
Let me tell you that. ET77 data structures. Now this is our transaction SE38, 22 September. Okay, now Z basically is allowed by SAP whenever we write a program of our own. A customer can only write with any program starting with Z or Y. T77 is our batch number, data structure is our topic, today's date. Okay. Executable program, save, local objects, package. We'll discuss packages as well, but package is something in advanced discussion, but not right now. Package is just a cardboard box where it carries all the source code, logic, data, everything. Okay, data WMAC type MAC, select single from MNKT into WMAC where MAC equals. Let me write something else. Parameters P magna type magna. matter. Okay. And write matter. Check it. Give it. Okay. Direct processing. We'll discuss the code later. P LAP9FG executes. Okay. LAP9FG. This is the product. Now, what is this LAP9? What is PMAT? I'll just tell you that. Right now, let me MM01PP. This is a material master. E material master PP config, material master PP config. Okay. Okay. Now, what we are doing is basically here is data. This is the keyword data. We are defining something. Whenever data is written, that means we are defining a variable, which is work, which is WAMAKT. Now, WA here is means work area. Okay. Work area means that it will be a variable that we can update, provide logic to, and execute it. And it will be of type max. Now, what is max? Max is a table. Okay. Now, max is what table? We'll discuss that later. Type can be character, integers, alphanumeric, floating point, anything. So that's like that. We can define any variable like a table. Now, what is MAKT? I'll just discuss that, but let's discuss the parameters. Now, parameters, anything that comes with this keyword means is an input parameter it will be. Okay. And P over here preceding signifies that it's a parameter. Matter is material number, type material number. So it will always accept a material number in this parameter, otherwise it will not proceed. Select single all details from MAKT into work area max, where matner equals P matner, where matner equals P matner. So matner is material number field in this MAKT table, and then write the output. Okay, and it writes the output that you have seen. So let's see what is MAKT. MAKT display. This is a database table. And in this table, we have fields of various elements and types. Some are characters, some are language, some are client type. So what do we have? We have matner, material number, language key, description, and description in uppercase. So it is material description table. And that's how we are extracting the details.